You're watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the February 7th meeting of the Michigan City Human Rights Commission. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
So we're going to start out. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. All right. Start out with the call to order, and then the roll call. So, Diane, you want to do the roll call?
Certainly.
All right.
Albertine Allen.
Here.
Sojourner Atwater.
Here.
Dennis Carroll.
Here.
Marty Corley. Greg Coulter.
Here.
Bunny Dimke. Diana Gore.
Here.
Mary Ellen Quinn. Tyra Robinson Walker. Here.
All right. That's it.
No.
6.
6.
All right.
You can
Oh,
start
yeah, you can't with her then, right? She doesn't count as one, so you have 5.
6.
5 right here. This is a Jamie's or
Yeah,
new
1,
one,
2,
but she,
3, 4, 5, 6.
okay.
The lawyer says 6. I think that's.
And who-
So she can vote.
and-
Jamie, after the council meeting tonight, will hopefully be our newest member.
Okay, but yeah, no, she hasn't been appointed yet, so.
Correct.
Yep.
Mhm.
No, we have to, the ordinance says 7, so we have to wait until there's 7.
Okay,
It doesn't matter whether we only have 10 commissioners, we have to have 7.
gotcha.
So we can have an informational meeting,
Sure.
we can go through and we can wait and see if somebody comes in. I didn't see any emails today about people saying they couldn't.
Bunny had emailed me, Mary Ellen was on the fence,
Okay.
but nothing from Marty, so maybe he'll come in.
Marty comes in late, a lot of times, so if you
Okay.
want, we can go ahead with the informational meeting, but
Sure.
we won't be able to have it in voting.
Okay?
That's fine. All right. So, starting out, let's go with the informational meeting. First of all, we'd like to approve our January meeting, the minutes.
Okay, we can look at them, or we
Look at
can
them,
approve
we
them.
can approve them. I'm
Gotcha.
sorry, yes.
Okay.
So, are there any questions in reference to our January meeting? None? All right. We can move on from there. Financial report, any questions referencing that? No? All right. So we're moving right along. The executive director's report.
I do have a resignation from Melody Haynes that was dated January 27th. Dear Mr. Perry, it is with regret that I tender my resignation from the Human Rights Commission effective immediately. I'm grateful for having had the opportunity to serve on the board for the past 5 years, and I offer my best wishes for its continued success. That's why I didn't read her name, because this was dated January 27th, so.
So Melody's gonna be missed, and gonna
Yes.
be lost.
Yes.
Yep.
So anything
Does that
else?
complete her term, or was there some time still left on her term?
I will have to look at my paper, but I think that there was still some time on her.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else?
Hopefully we, as I had mentioned earlier, Jamie should be our next.
You want to share your book?
Yes, sure. I had found these, if you see them in your packet, I found them in the back room. And it came with a box, a video. I believe it's meant probably for teachers, but anybody that has any type of position where it's informational. It came with a video, posters, and so I emailed them and I got more. I requested more, and then you can buy more. So I thought if we go to events or have a booth somewhere or we do something, we can always hand these out. I thought they were informational. I know that they say they're Youth for Human Rights, but I thought it was very nice. The video that I watched was very good too. And it actually just covers each and every one of these. But I never thought that there were 30 human rights, 30 of them.
Yeah, I haven't seen this before either, but
So I thought I'd share it with you.
it looks good.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not too much reading. I don't like too much reading.
Let's kind of scan through it a little bit here and there.
Yeah, through it, yeah.
All righty then.
Thank you.
All right, well, staff attorney report.
Okay, I have nothing to report, so my report's even briefer.
All right. Oh, wow. All right, how about committee reports? We talked about executive committee, governing subcommittee, and the nominating subcommittee. Anything? Nothing? All right. Development fundraising committee? Nothing on that? All right, it talks about giving back the subcommittee, special events, and sponsorship subcommittee. So prayerfully, we'll have some information on that at our next meeting. Education committee?
Are we still on for February 23rd for Black History? Does anybody know?
Which event was that? Because there's a whole calendar.
Yeah, but it was the award ceremony, and usually across the hall at and usually the mayor's there. Do we know if the mayor's?
I don't know, I did not receive an email on the event, but Tanisha did, and I believe Marty should have more information on that.
Yes.
Marty's usually in charge. I know we discussed this date and time, but I just wanted to make sure that was still,
I'm not 100% that it is.
okay.
All right.
Maybe we can get an email once we get, email can go out to people once we get it
Sure.
finalized.
We'll make sure you get, the information as well, so,
I think I have one of those calendars somewhere.
okay?
Well, there's Marty.
There he is. Good.
Good.
Here he is.
You're a popular person because you make our 7.
Oh, y'all waiting on me?
So now, well, no.
I'll sit over there.
Okay.
You got
I do.
oh, it's over here? Okay, got it.
Yep, it's okay.
How are you?
There you go. Good, how
Thank
are
you.
you? You're
I'm
welcome.
making it. I'm here.
Thank you.
I'm not sitting next to you, Joe.
We can go back and.
Good. Oh, all right.
It's in the finance report, we vote on that stuff.
Hey, Ms. Walker.
We were just talking about the Black History Awards, is that still on for February 23rd, you know?
So, I apologize because of my time that I didn't budget or I didn't take in consideration. I got busy with stuff, and so the timeline got past the time to get it to the schools. I actually did get feedback. I got a reply back from Sam because McDonald's, they were willing to actually fund or use some of their McDonald's paraphernalia to basically be prizes. But because me dealing with some other things, the timeline got past me, so I didn't feel comfortable with putting something together and not giving the schools enough time to actually participate like we've always had.
Right.
So I didn't go forward. So I do apologize because that was my intentions, but I didn't get to do it, and I didn't want to do it the wrong way. So I would rather us
Do
just
we have any other
next year.
Do we have a tentative date for the next one, or we
So
do
then we
that?
would just do it again next year.
Oh, just next year?
Yeah.
Next year.
If the board wants to, if the commission wants to still do it and we just have to award it outside of Black History Month, all I have to do now is basically tell Sam, like, this is this, and then, go forward, but we wouldn't be able to do it, probably won't be able to award it until I get March. Because you would have to want to give the schools at least 3 weeks to a month in order to work it in and get participation. And then we have to get it out to not just Michigan City schools, but then there's Renaissance and Marquette and the parochial schools too. And so the problem with that is it'll be a lot of face-to-face stuff with them because I don't have emails for them. I have emails. Michigan City schools is an easy one to deal with because just email Betsy or somebody and gets it out, but the other ones. So I my recommendation would be just, unfortunately, I take the bad publicity on it of getting us, having to put us in a position to not have it this year, but I would just say that we just wait till next year to do it again. To do it instead of trying to put something together and having it out of the norm of what we usually do.
Any other members with any comments about it?
I do want to thank Greg for some suggestions with helping out with Historical Society and so forth, of trying to get them involved also.
Well, I was worried that they might have not gotten back to you, but it's out. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem at all. So I apologize for not getting it going like I thought I was going to be able to.
Well, I certainly would think that we could possibly wait until next year and take our time and do a good program then, instead of trying to rush through something right now. And we know how busy you are, so don't.
And this year I'll put it in my calendar for like December. So the December meeting, you will hear me asking recommendations and move forward. That way I figure December gives enough time to because it's basically it's already laid out what we need to do.
Right.
The biggest part is the theme. Make sure we have the prize money together, and then getting it out. And I'm sure if I reach when I actually got in touch with Sam, it was a matter of an email back. It's like, oh yeah, here's what we can do. So with their help next year, I think now all I have to do is worry about the older kids' prizes, and that will cut our budget in half a little bit.
All right.
And I could even plan for the Black History Month committee to kind of throw in something towards that. When we do our sponsorship requests to organizations, I will include us being a partner with the Human Rights Commission. So then there'll be less money at the Human Rights Commission have to worry about funding for that event.
All right. Any other comments? All right. Great then. Marty, we'll do that. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Want to go back to let's start? We can have a vote on the minutes.
What we're gonna do is start over. We now have 7 members. And just kind of go down through again. We've done the roll call.
We would just do the roll call, even though Marty's come in, we can just
right.
do approval of the minutes. Hear a motion
That's
for
what I'm
approval of
doing.
that.
Yeah. So, we've got Marty coming in, so the next would be the approval of the January minutes.
I so moved that we approved the January 3rd.
Second.
All right. Finance reports.
So let's have a vote on it. All those in favor?
I'm sorry, you're right. Thank you. Vote on that, on the approval for the minutes.
All those in favor, say aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Sorry, all in favor, say aye. Okay, maybe I should wait till next year. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, all negative, any negatives? No nays, all right.
Good.
Now we'll do the finance committee. Right?
I'll make a motion to approve the finance report.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? I did that one right.
There you go. I'm getting the hang of it now.
The executive director's report.
We already did that.
Yep.
We already
Did that? We did that already, okay. What about
We
you?
already did that.
We did that before.
Nothing new the last 5 minutes.
And then the committee reports. We've done the executive committee, the governing, and the nominating subcommittees. The development, fundraising. All right, any of those?
I don't see anybody else here. I know Melanie and have been working on a couple of things, but I get with her. I give her phone calls. So just, no.
She resigned.
She resigned.
Okay, well, maybe not then. Well then, because I know Melanie was on it, myself, and Bunny, yeah.
Bunny.
Okay, so I touched base with Bunny. I know in the past that Bunny has provided her talents in art, and we've actually had the times we've done the stick
Right.
and paints, they've been pretty successful. I know we're pushing it for Valentine's Day, but maybe we can do something around Easter with Bunny. I will touch base with Bunny, see if that's all possible we can do.
I mean, it's just kind of ironic. Bunny, Easter.
I was thinking it,
I'm
but
like,
that you kind of really clicked.
We love you, Bunny.
Maybe that's an event, something we can do, and then maybe Bunny, if there's anybody else who'd like to join that subcommittee as far as give backs, we can start looking at trying to get some give backs in the next couple of months too, partitioning some of the restaurants that do those.
All right. Okay, what about education? We already talked with Marty about Black history and what have you. So, nothing with that. Community Engagement Committee, I think that's where we stopped. Alrighty. The Disability Awareness Subcommittee. Yeah.
The Community Engagement Committee, that would be, I think under Sam, under social status. At least that's what I was told.
Yeah, that's under community engagement.
That's what I thought. Everything's going a whole lot better. Officers are in place, and it's looking very well at this point. Thank you.
All right.
Glad things are going better.
I have a question, Madam Chair. Mrs. Walker, for Martin Luther King event subcommittee, is PNC going to go back to what they were doing before? Or
No, that's what we had mentioned before, that
PNW, I'm sorry, PNW.
Yeah, PNW Chancellor finally did reach out to myself and to one of the other community members and basically said that they're going in a different direction in reference to the Martin Luther King event, and if we wanted to join their format, we could, but me and the other member, we did not attend the event that they had because it was kind of late notice for us to attend.
So do you think next year it'd be possible for that, or is it possible for us to do something in the city ourselves?
Well, I talked with her and we thought it may be best to do something within the city.
Okay.
I talked with a couple of people at the Kwanzaa event
Yes.
about doing something more within the city. Just because there has been conversation a lot about the transportation out to PNW. I know a couple of the bigger area churches thought it would be something great to have at our local churches within the city for a lot of our residents to attend and be a part of. And maybe even make it more of an event where it can be 2 or 3 day event, where it can be at one church or an event, another church, or another activity center for something else, and let it be more of a stagnated, and these are just thoughts I've talked with people in the community about, let it be more stagnated in events. One event for our adults, meaning 21 and older, our young adults, and our children and adolescents of that particular nature. So everything can be a developmental stage to reach the particular audience in our community, to engage them on at different age levels. That's been a communication that I've had. Where it is, we don't have any movement in reference to it.
I was just asking because I know that Denise Ship and Michigan City Black Business Association did something at Salvation Army, and for it to start off small, but it was pretty nice. And I just thinking on that, like you say, the transportation. Usually, I mean, this year the weather was good, but if we would have had it at PNW, like that's usually like the worst weather, worst day of the year.
It always
When it
is.
comes to every Martin Luther King Day celebration has been like the worst weather. But I just always thought that, you know, after seeing the event that we had at Salvation Army, I think it's possible for us to do something in Michigan City.
And I think the biggest conversation is always, we already have several different people and organizations doing various things. We have to learn to be able to come together and collaboratively put all our heads in one arena so we can make it one big event to be able to reach everybody instead of small events and only reaching small people and offering small opportunities of collaboration. So those are definitely things that we would like to look forward to.
All right. Any other comments?
Madam Chair, can we go back to the education committee? I missed if you guys, I see the high school scholarships are on there, and as we know, that's coming up real quick. So I was wondering if anybody because I don't remember again who's on that committee, have been on that committee with me. So, I mean, that's probably something we wanna start looking at right now. Because and also looking at our budget, are we gonna be able to finance 2 scholarships like we have in the past? Because we usually do 2 $1,000 scholarships. One is the Hawkins Williams and the other one is the Judy Huber. So I see we have $2,000. I don't know if we have any plans for getting more funds prior to that. So if we still gonna do 2 scholarships, we might wanna look at maybe, I hate to say it, lessening the amount, maybe 2 $500 ones? Or are we in a position where we feel good about still doing 2 $1,000 scholarships? And I mean, right now, we would deplete our funds like $47.
So if I can at least be able to backtrack in my thoughts in reference to what you're
Yes,
saying,
ma'am.
Marty. My understanding was that at the last meeting, the committee was going to approach, talk to Nisha and Diane, we're gonna approach the mayor to follow up on
Okay.
his, statement in reference to the donation of funds that was gonna be added to our pot for
Okay.
us to be able to do the special events and et cetera. Because in my understanding and my recollection of that meeting when he was present, there was communication that he felt like we still have funds to be able to contribute to that based off what would be donated from, the council. Did I mishear or did not remember anybody? Was anybody present for that?
No, that's what I recall him
Okay, I just
saying.
wanna
I mean,
make
it was
sure.
nothing definite, it was not,
Mm-hmm.
he did express an interest in some additional funding. And we were not always at 1,000, we used to be at 500. And then when our budget increased a lot, we upped it to 1,000. But it was 500 for a lot of years, so there would really be nothing wrong with 500. But I'd hate to, without additional funds, I'd hate to spend everything we have on those 2 scholarships.
I guess that's just where my understanding is to determine, let's definitely still go with the 500 if we need to take a vote or if that's the finance committee's job. But also look at where are we going to be able to do these announcements? Are we gonna be able to do it here with like refreshments? If that's the case, that's Mary Ellen, and she needed to know what that budget was gonna look like based off the contribution that was gonna get approved by the recommendation of the mayor to the city council. And that's the last I heard and I remember. So if I missed anything, please guys jump in because that was a couple of
Yeah, no, I don't think it was decided on what it was gonna be. I mean, there was some talk about just having some kind of brunch or something, or doing something at somebody's house but I don't think anything's been decided, so I think we need some committee meetings to decide, what we're gonna do with that and what we wanna do as far as how much we want the contributions to be made. And, anything additional coming from the city, I think it's speculative and it won't necessarily be here for a couple months down the line if we're still talking about it. I don't think we're kicking around when we would do this, whether we do it in May or we used to do it later in the year. Some years we did it in September.
close to the graduation time.
Yeah, close to
Am I
graduation.
correct on that, Marty? We
Yes.
usually do it
Yeah, we usually did it, closer to, I think we usually,
April?
April, May-ish. I think it's more May-ish. Well, now with school getting out a little earlier. But I think we usually did it towards the end of May. End of April, beginning of May. I know we always try to get it done before they did their not senior award, but their scholarship award banquet at the high school. So, and that's usually like the last couple of weeks of the school year. So.
All right, so we need to put together a committee to start working on this.
I think we already have the committee. I think the committee just need to, So I'll touch base with Mary Ellen to kind of see where she's at, and then from there we'll get some meetings going, some
Alright.
subcommittee meetings going, and try to plan something.
All right. All right, the next one, subcommittee for the LGBTQA.
I think that's me. I really need to get more in touch with PFLAG, but I know that there's a drag show this weekend. That always seems to be something that Nancy would report on. I think it's at the FOP. But like I said, I need to get more in touch with PFLAG. Is there like an official roster of committee members and all of that jazz? I haven't seen one yet.
Yes, it is. I believe it's in Tatanisha's computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I imagine that would be something that we'd work on next month when we have new members.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
we should
cool.
pass that around and let people sign up for that, because I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of changes on
Yeah,
there.
we probably have to change since we lost, 2 or 3 members since
Right,
the last time we've had hints.
yeah, so we definitely need to do that, and I know in the past, we passed the sheet around.
Yes.
You don't have to do that, we could do some other method, but that was one way, so Diane, you could look for that.
I could always email it to everybody also before the, the next
we can-
meeting. That way you could kind of get an idea of what's open.
Yep.
I've been going back and reading all the minutes from 2019, 2020, 2021, 22. So I'll get that for you and I could just email it to you if you'd like that.
So in the past, we've said that, everybody should be on at least one committee, meaning the executive committee is set by ordinance, so that's already set, but we pretty much have people who take the lead on various committees, but you need to, at least be on one, if not more.
All right, and especially with new members coming in, so, all right. What about the Martin Luther King event subcommittee?
I think I gave an update already. I'm good. I think
Are you
y'all
good with that?
Yeah.
All right. What about the renter landlord relationship subcommittee?
Nobody else on that is in here.
Was that open?
Nothing? Okay. Nothing on that one? What about the social status of African American males?
Pastor Carol.
Pastor Carol gave that.
Commented.
Okay, nothing more?
Not as yet.
All right.
They didn't text them yet.
All right. Nothing more then.
Hilarious.
Then next would be the any old business?
I guess I have one question. I'm full of questions. I've never talked this much. I'm getting it out of my system, and this is probably what
Look at that. Look at Dr. Tuck on it.
Yeah, I know, that's what it is. I know in the past, we've always had like a board retreat. I didn't know if that was something that we had, I can't remember the last couple meetings that we had talked about it or anything, but I think with.
I can speak to that,
Yes,
Marty.
yes.
I did talk with Mary Ellen after the meeting because she did bring that up. She is still open to doing a retreat at her house again. So she has not planned a date or anything like that. But I knew we were trying to get the event for Black History Month as well as the scholarship
Out the way.
committee out the way before we look at what those dates look like.
So maybe sometime after the summer, possibly.
Probably, because she likes to have it
Yeah.
in her house open outside too.
Okay.
And just for new members, what we're talking about is we used to have, years gone by, we would even have a multi-day retreat. We did it at Anselm College once, and it was a multiple-day retreat. That's why I think Cindy Davis was the executive director back then. And since we've scaled down and we've gone to, a couple of times we did it at restaurants, and then lately as the budget has been lacking,
Right.
Mary Ellen has graciously agreed to host at her house. So it's voluntary, it's completely a social event, so it doesn't come under the preview of the open door law. So we can go ahead and we can have a meeting. Well, we don't have a meeting, but we could discuss whatever's on your mind and what's bothering you, get something to eat, and then just kind of a retreat and kind of a get together and know one another. And I think it's a good idea to do that since we have so many new members. I do think hopefully we can. Yeah, we had Mary Ellen and she could try to get something in order. It's difficult to do, to try to get everybody. We've done it on Saturday.
Yes,
Uh,
Saturday mornings usually at
Yeah.
10, 11 o'clock.
Yep.
I know her tentative agenda item based off of our discussion is to have you do some re-education in
Sure.
reference to, our laws, our bylaws. And, it was some discussion, I don't know if we would have time to do that, for me to re-present, because I presented at last year's Human Rights Custodium. So advocating for our mental health in our own backyard, what that looks like. That was some tentative discussion, but I think more so, Larry, your part is very important.
Sure, yeah, that'd be no problem. I guess the only other thing I'm thinking of is that maybe it depends a little bit on her husband's health situation
Absolutely.
too. But, yeah, I think we need to get back to Mary Ellen and see what we're looking at there. But I think that'd be a good idea.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I think she's anxious about trying to do something.
She's offered many
Yes.
times.
All right. So is that okay with you? We'll talk more about that.
Okay.
New business. Any new business? None?
Is anybody, is anybody here on the Women's Commission? Are you guys giving away, do you guys have a grant? Are you giving away money to organizations?
Not right now.
No, okay, all right,
We're planning the International Women's Day
okay,
event, and it's March 8th.
okay.
All right. Any questions about that? All right. Commissioner's comment.
I do have something. I was really, the biggest part wanted to wait for that.
He's only doing it.
What are we doing today, Marty?
What do you have?
So, as you all know, February is Black History Month, and I'm part of a committee. We've been organized for the last 8 years, and we basically do events, activities for Black History Month in the city. We do have our calendar out, so I do have a couple calendars, and I do have some trifolds. The difference between the trifolds is the trifolds have the events that we exclusively plan ourselves, and on the calendar there's a couple of events that are outside of our planning that are going on at the other places. Primarily, there's two events at Levezic and one at the library. I won't read off the whole event calendar. I do want to highlight a couple of things. And first of all, I would like to first start off with another apology. So in the past, we had our kickoff brunch, which is where we invite our community stakeholders. And in the past, I have invited the commission. This year, I apologize that I did not get an invitation out to you all. In the past, I've never had to actually plan the whole event. Mr. Allen Williams in the past would basically plan that part. All I had to do was get out invitations, but I had to do a little bit more, and so I left you all out. So I apologize to anybody that did not get an invitation. I think this commission is an important commission, a stakeholder in this community that should have been at that event. Our keynote speaker was Judge Shaquita Kelly. She's a Michigan City native, and now she's a presiding judge in the Dallas Criminal Courts in Dallas, Texas. She was a great speaker. I don't know who we're gonna get next year to speak to go up one notch, because we might have to try to get Obama, one of the Obamas up there, because I mean, she really spoke. She had a great presentation. But I do want to point out some of our things. Some things that are highlighted here is we're gonna have Black Cinema Night, and in the past we've always had Black Cinema Night at Uptown. At the Arts District, Art Space. This year we are partnering with, well, I'll say partnering, but they're making us pay, AMC Theater, and we're gonna actually get to show the movies in one of their theaters. This Thursday is Glory. Next Thursday will be 42, and then on the 23rd, it'll be Selma. Now, I know people have probably seen all these movies before, but I'm telling you, the biggest part of that is watching the movie with the community, and then at the end we have a community discussion.
Assessment.
And this year we have some students from high school lined up to lead those discussions. And if you've never been to one of our Black Cinema Nights, I'm telling you, the discussion with the community is really the impact, and that's where you really start to develop the things that you need to work on in your community. And not just work on, but you see the people in there that are willing to work together to get those things. So I wanted to highlight those things. We do have our Quiz Bowl and Health Fair this Saturday at the YMCA with the education panel. The Quiz Bowl starts at 9:45, and then the The health fair starts at 11, and the panel's at 12:30, but we'll conclude everything by 2. And then we'll have Essence Rare the Black Expo pop-up at the Lighthouse Mall. Again, another community partner that is here in Michigan City that allowed us to have a space to do the Black Expo, give us more visibility in the mall. So come out to that. That's 10 to 4. And we'll have a Gospel Fest on the 19th at the Salvation Army. And we will end up the month with our talent show on the 26th at Stan Holcraft Performing Arts Center. And if you have not been to one of our talent shows, Carnessa Carnes and Don Thomas puts them together. I'm glad I don't have to do that one because we're behind. But they put that together, and I mean, the talent show went from 20, 30 people to now the auditorium can almost be packed with people. And we do give out cash prizes for the Quiz Bowl and the talent show, thanks to our sponsors. And then we end up the month, which will be March 4th, with a dinner dance put on by Indiana Black Expo, and it'll be at the DAB. Tickets are $30 a person, but again, it's a great event. And we will give out, Black Expo gives out a couple of, one surprise award, which Mrs. Harris does a great job of surprising people. If you get invited and you think of why, then you probably get an award. So I just want to let you know. But so those are some of our events. But again, I will leave some calendars. If anybody wants a calendar or a trifold, I have more trifolds and calendars with that. And we do have a Facebook page, Michigan City Black History Month Committee Facebook page, and you will find our calendar and all of our events on there. And each day or each other day will be some highlighted of our sponsors, some of our events. And again, majority of our things are free. The only thing is the dinner dance costs for tickets because we have to pay for some overhead. And then the talent show is technically free, but we ask for a $1 donation. And again, that money is either spent with scholarships or something else. We make no money off of what we get. And again, we're only able to operate because of our community partners who become sponsors through financial means. So I just wanted to put that out there. I hope to see you all out at some of our events. If anybody out there wants to give a donation or there's any other business that did not get a chance to be a community partner, unfortunately, one of our biggest things is our advertisement. We put you on there, but we will highlight you on our Facebook page if you decide to become a community partner. Again, we're only able to do some of this stuff because of our community partners, and so I appreciate it. And if anybody have any questions, I answer your questions. But other than that, thank you.
I had a good time on Saturday.
Yeah, I did too.
The entertainment was good, the food was good, the company was good. It was so many people that you don't ordinarily see every other day. I mean, but they are still here in the city. And we just had a grand time. I do want to talk about the Women's International Day. That's March the 8th. And hopefully we're going to have our event at the Krieger Memorial Park. And it's from 10 until 1. The luncheon is free. There's no charge to come in, and we're going to talk about health disparities and disproportionately affected population as far as health goes. The keynote speaker will be one of the keynote speakers will be the state president for the Women's Commission. So.
All right. Are you gonna have put something out about that?
Yes, it'll probably be out by Monday.
All right.
Next week, we just secured the facility today. And we'll have those serve lunch. We'll have a good time.
All right. Anything else?
So for the cinema nights, you just like show up at the theater, pay your $10 at the door.
No, it's free to get in. The $10 is if you they are offering a pop and popcorn combo. I think they're gonna throw in a slushie too if you want. It might be a little extra, but that's only $10. That's only you have to pay. As far as the movie, it's free.
All right. Well, let's go from there. We have any public comments? None? And next, Larry, we have adjournment.
Okay.
All right.
When is our next meeting? We usually have that on the minutes. So make sure there's
Diane?
no holidays or anything coming up on the first Tuesday.
Sorry, I think I had it
I
on
think
there.
it'll be the 7th again. If I'm-
Yeah, March
Oh, yeah.
7th.
March
March 7th.
Mhm. Yep,
Thank you.
March 7th.
All right. Nothing more? Then I would say that we are adjourned.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
All right.
Glad we had a